Having a little fun on the beach. Don't turn your back to the ocean. It might come up and grab you. There's still some big surf out there. The Vans World Cup, round 2, heat 16. We're going to complete this round and we get underway quickly. David Silva with the number 2 surfer in the world, Felipe Toledo, caddying for him. Silva out of Guarujá, Sao Paulo, Brazil, the 20-year-old. And this goofy footer knows how to put it on rail and has done some damage here on the North Shore. Pretty talented, getting out of the junior ranks into the big leagues. He is, I believe, the number 1 surfer out of South America after 4 events and number 30 on the QS. So who knows? You're always hunting down the points and prize money, and you might get the spot.
He's got a chance for sure, and it's a nice start for him, for David Silva. A couple of nice snaps.
Bino Lopes out of Bahia, Brazil.
That was brutal.
And that was a tough one for the 27-year-old.
He was just trying to kick out there and couldn't get any traction, and got that lip right on the back. That's not a good way to start the heat. And just before that, actually had just a little wave, 2-pointer. You can see there's the buttery style, but that wave fizzles.
Well, 1 point for the bottom turn, 1 point for the cutback. Okay, I got to ask you, when we see that the last 2 surfers, there's Tudela, who ended up winning, Con O'Leary in second. They will not surf in the next round of competition against each other in the same heat, will they? Yeah,
it actually had an effect on who will surf against who. We'll get to that as we see David Silva. There's that really nice snap up on the pocket, eyeballing that inside section there, and another swooping cutback. So, not the most critical sections, but he made the most of it with some cutties. And that'll be an okay start with a 3.67. Had a little bit of a consequence for Conor O'Leary.
Look at this bomb and exit. It's a big flyaway exit. And that was probably going to be an easy one to score. 25 minutes and 35 seconds. These are 30-minute heats. Top 2 advance through. Elijah Gates now. Well, he gets one on the board. Now he's going to get back in the lineup and try to take priority. With first priority is Thomas Hermes. So his first wave. And it's got a nice section to the inside. A lot of white water on it. Chasing down towards the channel. Never really gets a piece of the real big section there. And that was a tough one to call. So he's got some paddling to do. Yeah,
Thomas Hermes was trying to get to the open face to show us what he's got. He's a very smooth surfer, but he's going to be frustrated with that wave there. Just got stuck behind.
Basically out his front door. Sofia Milanovic, a neighbor. I mean, it's really amazing to see what he has in store for the professional surfing world.
It's very exciting, the big wave stuff, as we see Elijah Gates, youngster from Hawaii.
Didn't he do that before? Wave number 1 was an exit. Wave number 2.
Yeah, the guys are, they're looking for that wave to stay open, and here we go.
Well, as we watch David Silva. Silva with a 3.67 to start things out there. Nice hook underneath the lip. Silva digs in deep. Look how fast this wave, and he accelerates quickly. And the timing is so critical. No matter what you think you see down the line, you better get ready to adjust.
Yeah, it's tough to read, and that's really part of the deal here. You have to navigate your way out in the middle of the ocean to catch the wave. And then once you catch the wave, you have to make the right choices. It's very easy to overread this wave. You really have to let it unfold in front of you. As you see, David Silva starts with a really sharp bottom turn and a big old hook in the pocket. So I'm loving that first maneuver from him. Unfortunately, that wave shut down. I mean, you are barking down a huge score if you can just combine this maneuver right here with the second one. Great start to that wave, but again, that wave just went straight to the channel and didn't give him another shot.
It looks like every time you catch a wave out here of consequence, you're at full speed to start things off once you're up to your feet. And if you can do anything, show that speed and scrub off with a big turn, you're scrubbing some speed. Who's this kid? Yeah, Jordan Michael Smith, Jordy Smith, 12th year pro, 8 years on World Championship Tour. Good to see him back in the water. We saw him on Haleiwa for one event. He will be coming up next. Take a look at that nice twist. Bino Lopes. Lopes has got a 2.0, which could be a keeper at this point. It's been a struggle to find the waves. Thomas Hermes with the 1.63 sits out the back. Surfer has got first priority. Let's see if he's going to jump on this next wave. You really have to take a look and try to look over the next wave. We're at a 3-story building. Some of our scaffolding is 2.5 stories high, and it's still hard to see these guys.
Okay, well here Bino Lopes. Watch this little nice pivoty turn right in a hook. almost looked like Tony Ray. That was a flashback for me right there. He had kind of a narrow stance there, but it was a very critical section, and Bino threw down a nice torquey little hook right there, but just the one turn really, so that's going to keep the score right in the middle of our scale, probably, and there it is. It's a 5.
Well, you're probably pretty aware of what's going on, but you know what? You can limited days. As we take a look at a very late takeoff in an inside section, it's going to do nothing here. It's going to go right into the channel. Pulls out Thomas Hermes. So who's got the best wave? Bino Lopes, his third wave of 5.0, but it is a 2-wave total of 517, actually a 517 and a 367 for David Silva.
And now this heat is starting to shape up, take form. You know, got just a couple of decent scores. One from David Silva, the 5.1, and then the other Brazilian, Bino Lopes, got a 5-pointer. So, you know, at 19 minutes to go, they got something to work with. You don't want to be kind of attached to your board. In this wind, you know, with your leash attached to the board, it can hit you in the head. So he's just trying to get out of dodge.
He was flying so far he could have landed on somebody else. As we take a look, action to the inside, big bowl section ahead for Bino Lopes. Currently in the second spot, and it closes down on him, and now he's got to pay the dues of a long paddle. 12 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, and he's staying with it.
Wow, it's interesting he's milking this thing in here.
Yeah, he's going into Val's Reef, and
he just added like a minute or two of paddling.
well, we think that's the right time. 12:25 on the clock as we click down. Well, and I saw Elijah Gates. I tell you, this kid is so great, from Kapolei area, and just a wonderful young man, 18 years of age. It's so great to have him surfing over here. Shows up with a big smile on his face, and he tried for a wave. He had first priority, and it was one of those rolling ones where you're trying on the whitewater on the corner, couldn't get into it, and all of a sudden lost priority.
Yeah, that's happened a lot today. It's really tough.
Head to pipeline, there'll probably be a couple more languages. Fading deep. Elijah Gates finally found a hook wave here, and gosh, digs a rail and goes down. That was wave number 3. With priority, David Silva, he is your leader, looking to replace a 3.67. He's got first priority. Sometimes on the North Shore, when you're free surfing, you're going for a film spot or a wave of the winter type thing or whatever, you know, those special awards that go on. Remember, Timmy Ray's telling me he set 2 hours to get one wave.
Oh, yeah.
2 hours to get one wave.
That's wild.
At back door.
There's the snap, and you can see he just got a little lazy as he was leaning into that hook. Got caught on his heel side edge and dug rail.
David Silva, your leader. Bino Lopes in the second spot.
He got it, flaunt it.
Well, this is just a different looking look. It's authentic. It's real. It's not manufactured in the gym. It's a real athletic body, and obviously they usually have a pretty good tan, and good for him. Here we go, Elijah Gates underneath the hook here. He is needing a 6.90. And with 6:51 on the clock, he's back in action, tucks it underneath. High line though, and it clamps on him.
Man, Elijah Gates again, 18 years old, out there with the big boys, pulling into a huge cave at Inside Sunset. He was so close to coming out of that thing, but once again, these barrels, once they hit that channel, they pinch, and you really have to escape. There's the whitewash roll in. He's on the inside bowl here and gets a good little snap onto the hood. See him wipe off speed right here, fading. Now he sees the barrel and tucks right in. But watch it pinch. It's going to hit the deck of his board right there. Actually hit him in the back. So it wasn't that exit he was looking for.
Sometimes at that point, if it's possible to kind of straighten out and force a doggy door.
Not perfect. But it is huge. There's so much room when you get yourself one of those classic insiders.
And take a look. Somebody showing that they like that too. Elijah Gates, his last wave of 3.0. He's in the hunt. He's up to third. Needs a 4.91. Who wants this 18-year-old to make it through this heat? Up against 3 talented Brazilians and taking a lot of chances.
Yeah, just a little wild there. You can see he was trying to find that rail. To keep, you know, like some smooth lines there throughout that ride, but he was always just caught off balance. Literally, look to the horizon there. There's about 15 waves marching through.
Love it that David Silva jumps on this thing early. And a big fade, nice off the top. Watch out, the wind's coming right up the face of this wave. On his heels again, beautiful, solid bottom turns. Section here, it's going to get ugly. What's he going to do? He's going to go for the roof and then down. And will that be the last wave for him? 1:53 on the clock. Key wave for Bino Lopes. Lopes is trying to improve on a 2.90. and he gets to the corner section. One more little wall, going to stand up, cracks it, and the little wall is what, 10 feet of open face? There we go. So is it going to be these two Brazilians matching? Yeah, what else can I do?
There you go. Little.
You can buy the judge's dinner.
The old Brazilian finger snap right there. So a bonus section. It looked like the wave was almost done, and he got one more hit before it hit the channel. So that's going to create a nice little cushion for Bino and David. They look pretty good here in the last minute.
Better hustle. Tomas Hermes needs a 6.27. Elijah Gates back into the hunt with that 3.0. It says he needs a 4.91. That could change.
Not sure how deep into the lineup he's gotten, but here we go. Tomas Hermes.
Hermes at this point needs a 6.27. We think it could be up in the 8-point range. His final hurrah with 50 seconds on the clock. Puts it on rail with beautiful whitewater flying and then hooks it even more. And to the inside, he's at the channel, and that is it for the wave. Where's Elijah Gates? 38 seconds remaining. Is he anywhere in the lineup to give it a shot? Again, we don't know what he needs, but if you had to take a guess, it'd probably be in the 6 or 7-point range.
Here he goes, Dave.
And here is Elijah, now or never. Couple of big turns, maybe a cover up here, long wall ahead. It might close out on him. Going for the barrel, now or never.
Yeah.
And he gets annihilated.
Packed it. That was
Love
cool.
it.
Elijah Gates is, I mean, if you're going to go out blazing.
That is a statement right there. Not holding back.
That won't be the score he was looking for, but definitely can hold his head up high.
Well, the judges are still waiting for this. Well, they're still, when there's somebody riding a wave, they can't put the scores in. So there's always something happening. Gets a little busy at the end there. We think Silva and Lopes have advanced through.